Many of you guys would have heard by now that Paul Proteus, also known as Richard, has passed away at the age of 52 years old. I wanted to say a few words of my own about him, but didn't want to do it loosely or on the fly or unscripted because he deserves more and I respect the man so much. Richard and I shared a few short emails between each other over the years and were planning a recorded conversation where I left the ball in his court a little while ago for when he had time. He wanted to, and he said he'd get back to me, but he can't anymore. The very last time I interacted with Richard was in December 2020, just a little while ago, on one of my live streams where he was in the text chat group discussion as his persona, Paul Proteus, and then in the space of time you'd pay one gas bill, he's not here anymore. I'm not exaggerating, and I promise you I'm not, when I say that the learning of his passing recently hit me hard. Initially it was shock, but then it was anger. And then just this week, literally, it brought me to tears watching a video tribute of his friends talk about the man. Yes, a man I had never personally known other than over email, messages and his YouTube videos, a man that I had never met face to face, brought me to tears. No joke, hand on heart. You might think I'm being theatrical or dismiss me as the equivalent of a schoolgirl crying over Elvis. But Richard wasn't a celebrity, he was just a good guy. A simple and real guy who had the courage to be a human being, follow his creative soul and in doing so connect with people. And judging by the amount of his community that came out to mourn his death, I think I'm not out of line in saying that many other mouth-breathing jackasses deserve to die before this good man. Richard seemed to have the courage we all wish we had more of. He expressed a real man's strength, mixed with openness we all recognise was the gold standard of balance to aim for. He was a mentor to men as well as a stoic and self-reflecting example of what more of us should reach for. A creative, courageous nerd with a big heart that was uncharacteristically warm and social. Just the perfect storm of a human being. There's no secret amongst you all that Richard's channel, Paul Proteus, was my favourite. Just watch one of his old videos, linked below if you don't believe me, and then you'll understand why. He wasn't a macho, posturing, avoidant provocateur behind some avatar like many out there. So how could a man I'd never met, who lived on the opposite end of the planet, have such a profound effect on me? It's because he had what we all are searching for, or wanting to be, but are too afraid or blind to connect with. He expressed what it was to be engaged and alive. His openness on screen had me feel like I was listening to a friend. You wanted to shake his hand. He felt like a guy you could trust if you met him, a guy I'd let sleep on my couch, a guy who seemed to have had his heart broken and gotten up over and over again and continued to keep caring because he knew that we're all in this. Both the people in his proximal music and entertainment life saw this, as well as those of us who were privileged enough to listen to his thoughts on his YouTube channel. And the reason I keep saying the name Richard instead of the name Paul Proteus that I've always come to know him through on his YouTube channel is because I realise that Richard, the actual human being, is what was always being conveyed to me on his YouTube channel, not Paul Proteus. Richard was the person I respected. He shared with and supported so many guys who were sitting alone in front of a computer screen, outsiders, square pegs in round holes, who were abandoned by fathers, abandoned by wives or girlfriends that they once loved, or even abandoned by the world itself. But Richard gave people a sense that they weren't abandoned by him. He was a cool virtual friend that would hang out with you online, if just for a moment in his videos, to share some time with you. He was both civilized and well-spoken with a touch of comedic showmanship. He was one of the few men creating content for guys going through a lot of pain and crap in their lives in a real flesh and blood way, where he had the courage to show his face and talk to you about his real-life learning and fumbling about as he tried to figure things out, just like you and I were. Unsurprisingly, he was one of the main reasons I decided to try and share myself with you guys in my own way, because for the first time, here was a man showing the way, like a real person. I thought, now it makes sense. That's how you do it. Richard was real, and I suppose his passing is just way too real for me as well, but that makes sense, I guess. I'm sorry we never got the chance to record that conversation, Richard. Rest in peace, you cool cat. Miss you, man.